Okay, in this course, we're going to discuss first BIM and the introduction to Revit. BIM, BIM, or Building Information Modeling, is an intelligent 3D model-based process that gives architecture, engineering, and construction professionals the insight and tools to more efficiently plan, design, construct, and manage buildings and infrastructures. So, to simplify, BIM is a collaboration tool that facilitates the design and construction management. After defining what is BIM, we're now going to discuss the 5 fundamentals of BIM or Building Information Modeling. So first is visualization. Second is quantification. Third is communication. Fourth is coordination. And fifth is simulation. Visualizations. So BIM provides a 3D virtual model of a project that enables owners to visually understand how a building will be constructed. So meaning, BIM has the ability or the capabilities to give us a 3D model view of a project to see its massing, its form, the plan, and the utilities inside that building or the project. So next is quantification. So BIM generates real-time values for any design changes that an owner or architect wishes to make. So meaning, BIM it automatically updates your project. For example, there's a revision. You have to change the height or the length of a wall. So once you put a value there, it automatically updates the 3D plan as well. Also, for example, you need an estimate. BIM also has a capability to give you an estimate for a certain type of for example, a beam or a wall or rebar. So it updates automatically. So that's the meaning for the quantification. Communication, BIM shares and updates information in real time. So meaning, as mentioned earlier with quantification, so it updates also automatically. So sa communication naman, since BIM is a coordination tools, so once there's a changes, for example, in architectural, so the other disciplines such as engineering or electrical, mechanical, or under MEPs, so they can change their drawings, then it automatically updates. So halos same siya with there's a part of quantification involved. Kasi quantification, there's a value. So, in communication, since collaboration tools nga ang BIM, once na nag-update yung isang discipline, mag-update siya lahat. So, automatically, we can also update our works para mag-match doon sa in-update ng isang discipline. Next is coordination. So, BIM analyze the information from multiple systems. So, meaning, BIM has the ability to analyze the drawing. So, if there's a pipe, for example, hit another pipe, so it automatically inform the designers to update it, to change the drawing. So, yun naman pagdating kay coordination. So, for example naman, kay architectural, no, may natamaan na pipe din, for example, yung wall. So, i-update ka niya. So, hindi mo ma-save or hindi mo matatapos yung drawing once na inayos mo yon. So, ganun yung system ni BIM. So, i-inform ka niya na may mga ganang incident dun sa drawing mo. So, ganun naman si coordination. So, lastly is simulation. So, BIM creates 4D simulation of the construction schedule, allowing all players involved to have a better understanding of the entire construction process. So let us define first what simulation means. So simulation means to copy or mimic a process. So BIM can give us information with regards to project scheduling. For example, Revit, it has the ability to give us information or to tell us whether that project is an existing project or a new construction. We can also make the project that we're going to do by facing. So that's how BIM, or that's the ability of a BIM as well. So we're gonna discuss next who are the people inside a BIM project team. So again, BIM is a collaboration tool, which means that there are people involved to proceed with the project. And these people are, first is the owner. So, syempre, hindi naman magkakaroon ng project if there's no client or the owner. Second is the architect. So, architect or interior designer, sila naman yung magde-design for us to proceed with the project. Next is the engineers. So, who are those engineers? So, we call it as a MEPs. So, meaning mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire pro, and structural. So, those people who are involved in engineering will also be involved in the BIM project. Since mag-start the architect, then si engineers na yung gagawa for the utilities and the structural. Then, after the design, we proceed with the CM or construction managers. So, si CM naman, since magkakaroon siya ng copy of a project ng BIM, you can now tell how the construction will be started. Ano ba yung mga uunahin? So, it will be by facing or depende sa strategy ni CM. So, next, si project manager. So, si project manager naman, siya naman yung involved with the project scheduling. So, again, sa fundamentals, we have the simulation. So, si project manager, siya yung magpa-project scheduling. And also, siya rin yung titingin if yung project is nasusunod based din sa schedule na ginawa niya. Then, last, si contractor. So, dapat magkakaroon din ng copy si contractor. So, doon naman sa contractor part, siya naman titingin kung nasusunod ba nila yung plano. Siyempre, hindi din nila ng sukat. So, yun naman ang ginagawa ni contractor. So, siya yung mag-construct. So, those are the people who are involved in the BIM project. So, after which, we're going to discuss now the introduction to Revit. So, Revit is a BIM software made by Autodesk, which is also same with AutoCAD. So, if we could see on our window, once na inopen mo si Revit, halos same siya ng user interface ni AutoCAD. So, here, this is called the welcome window. No, na you can see here the recent files open, the models, and the families. So, today, we're going to discuss the user interface parts of the Revit. So, on the left side, sa upper right, ito ang tinatawag nating Home tab. So, once na tinapat mo ang yung cursor sa icon, may lalabas siya na description. At the same time, if kung meron siyang shortcuts. So, on the right side, upper right, ito naman tinatawag natin na Info Center. So, same with AutoCAD, if naka-login ka dyan, so, lalabas ito yung name mo. And then, kung anong klaseng file. So, if you also have questions, dito ka rin pupunta sa Info Center. Then, we have models and families. So, si models, ito yung project na tinatawag natin. So, ito yung mga DWG file, RVT, SKP for SketchUp. So, ito yung models na tinatawag. So, dito yung mismong project mo. Next is yung families. So, si families, kumbaga kay SketchUp, ito yung tinatawag nating components. Or kay AutoCAD, ito naman yung template na tinatawag natin. So, later on, while we are discussing, or further discussing the Revit, i-discuss din natin tong families. Then, here, ito naman recent files. So, for now, wala kasi tayong recent files, kaya blanco siya. Pero once na nag-start na tayo gumawa, makikita natin dito yung mga recent files na meron tayo. Okay, so i-click muna natin tong sample architecture project. Yan. So as you can see, while loading pa siya, so makikita natin na halos parang pareha siya ni AutoCAD na halos same yung user interface niya. Okay. So, yan. So, once we open the sample project, ito ang una nating makikita. Meron tayong title sheet na sample sa ating drawing area. So, itong gitna na to, tinatawag natin tong drawing area. Halos same with AutoCAD din. So, going back dito sa taas, so this is the home tab. Then, itong part na to, tinatawag to na quick access toolbar. So, under ni quick access toolbar, meron tayong open or control O as a shortcut. So, ito pag mag-open tayo ng panibagong file or yung recent file na gusto nating buksan. Next is yung save or control S. Then, as you can see here, may mga gray out na area. So, meaning, yung mga gray out na area yan, since nasa title sheet tayo, mawawala yan once na nagpunta tayo sa mismong floor plans. Okay. So, this one is for synchronize and modify settings. So, ito naman, for collaboration tool to. So, kung may gagawa kayo as a team, hindi yan mag-gray out. Okay. Then, here is the undo or control Z for undoing the command. Then, this one is redo or control Y, control shift C if we want to redo the command. Then, print, measure, align dimensions, tag by category, text, default 3D view, section, thin lines, close inactive views, switch windows. Then this one, this arrow, if you want to customize your quick access toolbar. So once na kinlik natin yan, ito yung lalabas. So dito, pwede mo, once na naka-check yan, lalabas yung icon dito sa gilid. Now, if you want to customize it, just click this one. Then, ayan. So, mag-open siya. So, ito yung makikita mo doon sa loob. So, once na kinlik mo to, hindi na mag-gray out yung itong icons na to. So, meaning, you can remove it, you can add separator, you can move it down, or you can move it up. So, since nasa taas na siya, mag-gray out itong move up. So, pwede mo siyang ibaba. So, it will be based on your preference. So, yan. So, ako naman, I prefer it not to change it. So, kung gusto mo siyang customize based on your preference, you can do it. So, ito naman, add separator. So, ito yon. So, for example, gusto ko nakahiwalay lang si open and si save. I just have to click this one, then add separator. So, may hiwalay siya. So, once na in-okay mo siya, makikita mo dito, may separator siya. Okay. So, ganyan. So, i-control Z natin para bumalik. Or, ito na lang. So, if you want to remove this, yan. So, depende dun sa preference nyo. Then, click OK. So, yan. So, if you want to go to 3D view, just click this one. Then, this one, yung thin lines or TL, ang ginagawa naman ito, para lumabas yung line weights nung drawings mo. So, once na in-off mo siya, all lines will be thin lines. Pag naka-on siya, kung ano yung line weight nung drawing mo, lilitaw siya. So, next, this is the file tab. So, si file tab, ang naka-open lang sa kanya is itong modify. Okay. So, punta muna tayo sa level 1. So, ayan. So, once na pumunta tayo sa floor plan, napapansin nyo, you will notice that hindi na naka-gray out yung ating ribbon. So, we call this as ribbon panel. Same with AutoCAD din. So,
itong nasa ibabaw, we call this as contextual tab. Bakit siya tinawag na contextual tab? Kasi each tab, it is context with architecture, structure. So, kumbaga parang nakakategory siya. Okay. Under architecture contextual tab, you have the walls, doors, window, components, columns, etc. So, dito ka pipili ng command na gusto mong gawin if you're going to draw your drawing. Okay. Then, once we click this wall, okay, so magbabago yung properties ng ating ribbon. We call this line as the option tabs. So, pag sinabi natin option tabs, dito mo i-edit yung some parts of the elements. We call yung mga nilalagay natin sa drawing natin as elements. So, for example, si wall, we call it as element. So, dito sa option tab, may depende sa element na pinindot mo or ginawa mo, magkakaroon siya dito ng options. So, for example, pumindot ka sa wall, yan naman, magkakaroon ng active dimension. Sometimes, yung mismong measurement. So, later on while we're doing our drawing, mapapansin nyo yung magbabago yung nasa option tabs ninyo. Okay, so going back. So, next is yung structure. So, structure, ito naman yung for civil engineering works. No? So, we have beams, wall, columns, floors, trusses, brace, beam system. So, nandito lahat for structural works. So, in this course, ang matututunan lang natin is architectural and some of the structural works or structural drawings. So, mapapansin nyo rin na meron wall tsaka column si structure. Then, si architecture, meron ding wall and column. So, anong pinagkaiba? So, kapag naka-structure ka, ang mangyayari dito is, once na kinlik mo si volume o si wall, meron na siyang kasamang calculations. Unlike kay architecture, once na pinindot mo si column and si wall or si wall, wala siyang kasamang calculations. So, purely architectural lang siya. Makikita mo lang yung finish, then that's it. Unlike a structure, may mga computations siyang hinahanap. Okay. So, next is yung steel. So, si steel, everything related to steel. Pero more of structural side pa rin siya. Then, si system, ito naman yung mga utilities. Electrical, plumbing, fire pro, mechanical. So, lahat yan under dito sa systems. Next is yung insert. So, sa insert, mapapansin nyo, meron tayong link CAD tsaka import CAD. So, dito, since si Autodesk, under niya si AutoCAD tsaka si Revit, so, pwede ka mag-import ng AutoCAD file to Revit. So, pag sinabi nating import CAD, ito ay independent file. Meaning, once na nag-import ka ng CAD, hindi mo na magagalaw yung original file. I mean, pag ginalaw mo yung original file, hindi affected yung in-import mo na CAD sa Revit. Once na link CAD naman, nag-import ka to Revit, once na in-update mo yung AutoCAD file nun, mag-a-update din yung in-import or in-link mo na CAD sa Revit mo. So, kanya, nagkaroon ka ng revision sa may CAD file mo, yung original file, then nilink mo siya sa Revit mo, mag-a-update yon. So, mag-a-update din yung mismong nasa Revit file. Okay. So, dito rin sa insert, dito ka maglalagay ng family. So, again, family is a component for Revit. Kumbaga, si SketchUp component, Revit is family. So, ganun siya. So, next is annotate. So, si annotate, ito naman yung mga text, dimensions, call out, rev clouds, mga symbols, So, dito mo makikita kay annotate yon. So, si annotate, ginagamit lang siya for 2D plans. Hindi mo siya magagamit pagdating kay 3D plans. Next is analyze. So, si analyze, dito naman, connected siya kay systems and structures. So, yan. If you can see on the ribbon, may mga loads. Ayan. So, hindi na natin din siya masyadong madidiscuss kasi hindi ko na rin naman to forte. So, more of architecture and some of structure drawings tayo. So, next is massing and site. So, sa massing and site, everything related sa topography mo. Or kung gagawa ka ng lot, you have the bearings, so dito mo siya gagawin. And also, kung gagawa ka ng conceptual design, dito ka sa massing gagawa. Or itong massing yung gagamitin mo. Or for example, meron kang urban planning or regional planning, kay massing ka gagawa. Or yung gagamitin mo. Since you can put shapes as for your symbols, for example, mga houses, then you're focusing only on a certain project like commercial, for example, then you need houses around it. So you can use massing for that. Then you can also add site component. So itong site component, you can put trees. So dito mo siya kukunin. Then you also have parking component, building pad. So yan, everything related to topography. So for example, may mga slope ka, dito mo rin siya kukunin. So next is the collaborate. So si collaborate, ito naman ginagamit siya for team project or even in not a team. No, for example, architecture lang tayo, then you have the other team for engineering, so you can give them the link or the file para mag-collaborate kayo. Okay, so may dito na yung mga coordination. Dapat connected rin kayo sa internet. So dapat may cloud kayo. So pwede kayong gumawa doon ng sabayan. So, unlike same with AutoCAD, 'di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na XREF. So sa XREF, you have the original file, then you can collaborate with each other para sabayan kayong gumagawa. So, simultaneous working kayo once we say nasa collaborate ka. Next is the view. So, sa view, dito mo makikita yung floor plans, elevations, yan, yung mga plan view, reflected ceiling plans, structural. So, nandito yon. Dito ka rin magre-render. So, once na-click mo siya, meron kang default 3D view, camera, walkthrough. So, yan. So, si Revit naman, it has its own rendering ability. Same as with walkthrough. So, dito ka rin mag-aayos ng user interface mo. So, for example, gusto mong i-on si properties, si map, dito mo lang din siya pipiliin or pipindutin. Okay. So, next is manage. So, si manage, as discussed on our fundamentals of BIM, meron siyang project scheduling. So, dito mo siya gagawin. So, kung may mga project schedule ka, or if your project is by phasing, magagawa mo siya dito sa manage. As well as on putting the materials doon sa nirender mo. So, dito mo siya makikita. Then, add-ins. So, mga other, ni Revit. So, mga printing, launch WSM, convert RFA to format. Then, next is yung modify. Yan. So, kapag si modify, same as with AutoCAD. We have the align, move, offset, copy, mirror, rotate, mirror draw axis, trim extend. So, lahat yan. So, while we're doing our activities naman or lessons, dadaanan naman natin yan kung paano gawin yan. So, that's it for the uh, ribbons. So, next is itong nasa side naman natin. Meron tayong properties tab and then yung project browser. So, dito kay properties, dito mo ini-edit yung mga elements mo. Okay, as mentioned, elements, ito yung mga nilalagay mo sa drawing mo, such as walls, doors, windows, columns, etc. So, all of these are elements. So, ito naman, this is called the type tile. So, once na kinlik mo siya, click tayo ng wall. So, dito, makikita mo kung ano yung mga types ng wall na meron tayo. Okay, so we have cavity walls, exterior, interior, retaining, curtain walls. So, lahat siya makikita dito. Yan. So, dito sa mga, ito yung pinaka-properties natin ng wall na ginamit natin dito. So, next is yung project browser. So, si project browser, dito mo makikita yung mga views mo. Yung mga floor plans, 3D views, approach, elevation, sections, details, renderings, mga sheets, schedules. So, lahat siya nandito. Yan. So, ganyan siya. So, ito namang side, this is called the navigation wheel. So, halos same with AutoCAD. Dito ka mag-view, mag-navigate, mag-pan, zoom in, zoom out, control extend. So, dito yan sa navigation wheel. Now, pag pumunta tayo sa 3D, lalabas si view cube. Okay. So, si view cube, same with AutoCAD, you can change the view of your 3Ds. Okay. So, ngayon naka-isometric siya. So, yan. So, this one is called the View Control tab. So, si View Control tab, dito ka aayos ng mismong views mo. Okay. It's where you control your view. So, this is the scale. So, once na-click mo siya, you can choose what scale do you want. So, you have 1:1, 1:2, 5, 10, so on, and so forth. Now, next is yung detail level. So, we have coarse, medium, and fine. So, pag sinabi natin coarse, hindi ganun ka-detail yung lines natin or yung drawings. Yan. So, if you want to zoom in and zoom out, just use your mouse wheel. So, zoom out, then zoom in. Then, if you want to select, halos same lang din kay AutoCAD. Yan. So, if you start from left going to right, kung ano lang yung matatamaan nung box selection natin, yun lang yung masaselect mo. Pag from right to left, kung ano din yung matatamaan niya. Pero, kahit maliit lang yung matamaan niya dun sa drawing, masaselect mo siya. Pero pag from left to right, kung natamaan man siya ng selection box mo, pero maliit lang or kapiraso lang, hindi yun masaselect. Kung ano lang talaga yung mismong nasa loob ng selection box mo. So, by selecting, just hold down the left click, hold mo lang yon, then drag it wherever you want, from right to left or left to right. So, that's how you select an object. So, going back, so medium, meaning yung lines mo, medium yung detail niya. So, if you go back to floor plan, so by going back to floor plan, you have to double click the level that you want. So, ngayon, sa pag-course, ganyan yung itsura nung drawing. Pag ginawa mo naman siyang medium, medyo nagkakaroon siya ng detail. Then, pag ginawa mo namang fine, yan. Pag si fine kasi detailed na masyado yon. Remember lang na kung mababa yung specs ng computer mo, tendency is, pag nag-fine ka, pwedeng bumagal yung computer mo. Or bumagal or mag-lag yung Revit. Kasi, nakadepende rin itong detail level doon sa specs ng computer mo. So, kung gusto mo medyo bumilis-bilis, i-course mo lang. No? Pero once na maggagawa ka na ng sa sheet, or ilalagay mo na sa sheet mo, i-fine mo na siya para at least detailed yung mga lines. Okay. So, next is yung visual styles. So, sa AutoCAD, ang visuals natin doon, yung naka-default is wireframe. So, meaning, lines lang talaga siya. Ayan. Pag winireframe mo. Lines lang. Kapag naka-hidden line, yan. You can notice na parang medyo nagkaroon ng laman yung floor plan mo. Then, shaded, it means shaded yung plano mo. Consistent colors. Sa shaded, kunyari naglagay ka ng texture, hindi makikita yung texture doon. Okay. Kung anong kulay lang nung nilagay mo na texture doon, yun lang yung magre-reflect sa drawing mo. Pag consistent colors, may texture siyang kasama. Parang may mga lines lang siya. Pero pag naka-realistic, yun, kung ano yung itsura talaga ng texture na nilagay mo, yun yung magre-reflect dun sa drawing mo. Okay. So, next is yung sandpath. So, si sandpath, ginagamit na siya for 3D. So, ang ginagawa ni sandpath, this is where you will set your sandpath. So, pag nagde-design tayo, di ba, we consider the sandpath. So, once na-click mo yan, lalabas yan yung helidome. So, sa helidome, di ba, papakita doon yung takbo ng araw. Per day, per month, per year. So, yan. Once na-inan mo siya, isi-set up mo yung sandpath mo. And even the location. You can put the location there. Yan, nasa Philippines ka, sa Manila. So, ipapakita niya yung sandpath throughout the year. So, next is yung shadows. So, once na inan mo yung shadow mo, makikita yan sa plano. Again, remember lang na once na naka-on ng shadows mo, medyo bumabagal yung computer mo. So, better i-off mo muna siya kung gagawa ka lang naman ng plano. But if you're going to do the sheet or putting your plan on sheet and you want to put a shadow on it, just turn it on. So, next is yung do not crop view. So, sa do not crop view, ginagamit rin siya for sa 3D. So, meaning, pag do not crop view, once na sinelect mo yung drawing doon, tayo natin. Yan. So, makikita mo na nag-cut yung view niya. Okay. So, sa do not crop view. Yan. So, dito naman sa show crop region, yan. Pinapakita lang niya yung mismong crop region. So, pag in-off mo siya, hindi siya makikita. Yan. Ganyan siya. Next is yung unlock 3D view. So, sa unlock 3D view, since nakalock to, kasi nga nilagay na natin siya sa sheet, pag in-unlock mo yan, pwede mo nang ma-move yung view mo sa 3D. Then, this one, temporary hide or isolate. So, if you want to hide the elements, ayan, isolate ka or hide elements mo lang, ma-hide siya. Okay. Then, kung gusto mo na makita yung hinide mo, Ito siya. Okay, itong nakasayan yan. Kapag in-unclick mo to, hindi siya makikita. Okay. So, i-reset na lang natin. So, ganyan siya. So, reveal hidden, yung kanina natin ginawa. So, pag kunyari may hinide ka na elements or categories, once na kinlik mo to, makikita mo yon. Okay. So, next is temporary view properties, hide analytic, and etc. So, ayan yung mga nasa view control tab mo. So, next is itong status bar. Okay. So, si status bar, doon mo makikita rin yung, for example, nag-proceed ka with a command, makikita mo dito yung mga same as with AutoCAD na parang meron other actions na needed or may sinasabi yung mismong command na yon with regards to what you're doing. So, dito mo makikita kay status bars. Then, may mga other icons pa dyan. So, later on, while we are doing our activities or ongoing with our class, madidiscuss at madadaanan din natin yung mga nasa status bar na yan. So, for the meantime, we are just familiarizing ourselves with the user interface of Revit. So, yan. So, that's it for the introduction to Revit.